What's good, YouTube? It's jazzlovesmma here, and I'm gonna be making another tier list. That's gonna be we're gonna be talking about the best unranked prospects. Obviously, there's a lot of prospects in the rankings. Um, Loner Kavanaugh is a prospect still. In flyweight, you have Peyton Talbot, Roberts Jr. A lot of those guys still coming up that are contenders. Kevin Vallejos, all those guys are still coming up. And you could consider them prospects. But I want to make a video about the unranked guys in each division. And yeah, have all the tiers here. If you could tell on your haircut. Anyway, should be ranked. I have high people I think that should already be in the rankings that should be counted as a prospect or should even be in this video. Prospects I have high hopes for. Prospects that I think are decent but not amazing. Prospects that I think need work that are still in a green stage of their career, and prospects that have been fraud checked. And yeah, let's get into it. I have high hopes for Andre Lima. This is going to become a Andre Lima glaze. Andre Lima should arguably re-ranked, but he's still a prospect. He hasn't fought anyone ranked yet. He's coming off the Pyres performance, which isn't anything, but he has a fight coming up. I think he's fighting the Apex, and he's fighting Borjas. He should be getting someone ranked after that, man. He should be getting like a loser of Alex Perez, Summer Werji. I have high hopes for Andre Lima. He's a very good kickboxer, but he has amazing wrestling. He has really good grappling. He showed it against Felipe Dos Santos. I took his back. I grappled him for the entire fight. Was putting fucking hands on Baires. Could have finished him by TKO a whole bunch of times. Ended up getting the back and subbing him in round 3. Insane performance. Someone like Garul took him to like a really fun, scrappy fight, like decision. But Andre Lima, his career is being wasted, man. They're not booking him. It took them forever to book him, and they're not putting him in the rankings. They're giving him Kevin Borjas, which is a big name, like a decent name. But speaking of Kevin Borjas, someone who fought him already, I have high hopes for Emmanuel Rodriguez. He got robbed by someone we'll be talking about soon on the Ultimate Fighter. On the Ultimate Fighter, I was a little worried because he would rush in a lot, and he would it felt like he was kind of like a hook merchant, but dude, he's looking really good. The debut against Borjas, it wasn't the best looking round 1. He got dropped and hurt a couple times, but in round 2 he found the shot, he stayed composed, and he showed he can make those reads, and that's good from a prospect. I have high hopes for him. He looks really good. His hands are fantastic, and he's gonna be a star. Both these guys are gonna be big names. And someone who's really good, but I don't think he's gonna have the star power as like these two. I think his name is Vince Morales. I could be wrong. I don't think it's Vince. It's something Morales, right? I think so. He's really good. He subbed Libya Idris, I believe his name is. He subbed him easily. Just out grappled him, out worked him, was putting hands on him on the feet as well. He subbed Matt Schnell super easily as well. He's not getting booked. He was ranked number 15 the week of Loner Kavanaugh versus Moreno. Then he took him out, and they haven't booked him. He might have a fight booked that I don't know of, but he's good. Vince Morales, something like that. It's like I feel like it's a V. It feels like it has to be Vince. But his first run in the UFC, he isn't even bad. You know what? I'm putting him in. He should be ranked. Not because I think he's better than these two, because he did arguably, I think he did rob Emmanuel Rodriguez in their Ultimate Fighter fight, but it was pretty close. He should have won a damage, but I'm putting him here due to where he should be at right now. He's coming off a debut. He hasn't really had any really impressive good wins other than the Myers one, but just not the names are really the guys with the good records. He beat Matt now, but he beat Idris, who just got popped. He beat Ode, so that's how I'd rank these for the flyweight division. Moving on to bantamweight. Gene Matsumoto. I'm just gonna skip over here. Gene Matsumoto. He's been fraud checked. As sad as that, as sad as it is, he has been fraud checked. Um, I would want to put him in needs work because he did have such close fights with guys like Rob Font. He's a dude who he makes it close with everyone. That's the thing. So I don't know if he's really good. He was fraud checked against Rob Font, and he did lose to Farid Basharat, which I didn't pick. Well, I thought it was robbery, but it was so close that I didn't really care about the decision. It was one that I genuinely think it could have gone either way. But yeah, I think his game just needs some work because he has all the skills. He has really good grappling. He's pretty good striking. It's just sometimes he doesn't do what he needs to. You could put him in fraud check, but I think this next person deserves to be there more. Malcolm Wellmaker. What happened, man? Slimes out Cameron Simon with ease. Put Moutinho fucking fate. Looked like he caught a body. Ethan Ewing on short notice, who we'll talk about in a bit. Where is he? Is he not in here? Did I forget to put him in here? You kidding me? Ethan Ewing should be on this list. Where did he go? That doesn't really bother me. He had a really close fight with Ethan Ewing, but who's on like a couple days, like a week's notice, couple days notice. And then he lost to Juan Diaz, who I could have put on this, but there's some other guys I want to show praise for in the 135 division. I'm trying to see if I see Ethan Ewing's head. Is he not here? I have the 35. Okay. He should be here. He should be here. I would put Ethan Ewing in high hopes. I don't think he should be ranked off Estevan, but he would be here in high hopes. But Malcolm, what happened? I get it that he wasn't the best, right? He did have his flaws. He was a big power puncher merchant, but man, that's just disappointing. His career, maybe he gets a bounce back. But man, Juan Diaz, he should have chinned him. Maybe not, maybe Juan Diaz does something good, but still, man, this is a really sad fall off for Malcolm Maker, 2-fight losing streak. Disappointing, but on the same card, Sopaj, he's decent. He looked really good against Kwon, but his first two performances in the UFC make me want to put him here. I do have high hopes for him. I think he's going to be good. But he took Tertius to a really shit decision. He got chinned by Vinicius Oliveira, who I kind of want to make a video on at some point, but Vinicius Oliveira is someone that, it was some noise for Sopaj now. So do I put Sopaj in high hopes? I think so. I think I'm going to put him in high hopes. Oh, but the Tertius performance was pretty bad. I'll put him in high hopes. Because he looked improved. It looks like he's improving. He's just super inactive. Hate that. And the Vinicius Oliveira, that was Vinicius Oliveira when he was looking good. After that he fought Ricky Simone, schooled Ricky, and had like a generational performance. But since that fight, it looked like his gas tank got worse. His skills diminished, but maybe that was due to the bad weight cuts he was having. And yeah, because after Ricky Simone fight, he fought Said Nurmagomedov, who in that fight Vinicius broke his rib. So I was like, alright, well, he had a bad performance because he broke the rib. He still won. But then he had a shitter against Phillips. And it just kind of diminishes how I see Sopaj, especially the Ricky Tercios one. That was such a bad loss. Yeah, there should have been Ethan Ewing. Ethan Ewing should have been here. I would have had him in high hopes. Yeah. But speaking of people who beat Ricky Tercios, Alberto Montez. This dude is fucking sick. You might be wondering, why is there Ilya Taporia and Alexandre Taporia on here? Oh, shit, I was supposed to put Alexandre Taporia before him. You might be wondering, why are the brothers together? This is not Ilya. I have high hopes for Alexandre, though. I forgot to talk about him, so Montez, I'll just put you in the back burner. I have high hopes. He looked really good against Bexar, who is a really dangerous power puncher. He even dropped fucking Umar Nurmagomedov. And Alexander had a decent performance. He had a really good performance over Kobe Thickness. And that's it. That's kind of his career so far. He doesn't have a fight book. The UFC has such a big issue with booking prospects and stuff. I don't get it. But yeah, I have such. People talk about him like he's going to be a future champion. Like he could be champ right now. And I don't know about that yet. I don't know if he can beat Umar right now, but he's really good. He has less of the finishing instinct of an alien and obviously less power. But he has just all the technique. He's just a lot more patient than Elliot too. Elliot has his shots he finds, but Alexander likes to pepper with the jab, likes to slowly come in, find the right hand. Yeah, he's shown really good grappling in both his fights as well. Good stuff. Really hyped up. And Alberto Montes is really cool. He has some of the nastiest front hooks you'll see, and he just subbed Ricky Turcios with ease. I forgot what card it was, but he subbed him. Was it UC 320 326? It might have been UC 326. Because I think it made a prediction about that. He looks like Ilya. Doesn't really fight like him. His striking is decent, but I have high hopes because he is a nasty front choke, and he is kind of dangerous on the feet. He was rocking Turcios a bit. But he's at 145. And let's talk about somebody else at 145, Jose Delgado. I wanted to put him in Bin Project, but he just needs work. Because I don't think the Nathaniel Wood performance was a fraud check, because it just showed that he was good. But then the Andre Philly fight showed that if you're not some short midget in featherweight, or not someone that Jose Delgado can bully around, you do just kind of get, you do kind of just confuse Jose Delgado. He is young though, so he's going to be getting better. But man, the Philly performance was really sour in my mouth after like such a great performance against Nathaniel Wood. I think Nathaniel was really good, and I think Nathaniel Wood should be ranked. He should be ranked already. He shouldn't be under who the fuck's 15. I think David Onama. Nathaniel Wood has way better wins than David Onama. I think Dan Ige was still ranked, and now Nathaniel Wood. I think they kicked out Josh Emmett. Patricio Pitbull might be ranked. Get him out the rankings. Put Nathaniel Wood in there. And yeah. I think Nathaniel Wood deserves to be ranked. Duhu Choi's on a crazy win streak. He should be ranked as well. Daniel Santos is a crazy win. Both these guys should be ranked right now. Maybe Duhu Choi not so much. Like both these guys are. I feel like these three are guys who should be ranked because they're not really seen as prospects, and they're just like outright guys who should be just contenders already. So yeah, moving on to 155. Who do I have here? Tommy Gant. His wrestling looked amazing, so I'm going to put him in. You might be wondering, why does he have a completely different picture than everyone else? Getty Images did not have a normal, like, media day pictures that he uses of his post-fight. He's really good. He's really good. Grappling is amazing. Showed that he can finish a fight. He also has nasty gillies. Highly touted prospect, in my opinion. Obviously, Faladudo is coming out short notice, so I would like to see how he does against who's someone I want, like 155, like lower, maybe like a Jared Gordon, Jim Miller. Probably too big of slime outs, but maybe you do him versus Cal Nelson. Test where he's at. That'd be good. See where Tommy Gant's at. I do like his wrestling is amazing. I know I saw that a lot in the. Obviously, that's what he's known for, but he looks fucking insane against Munave. Who else is here? God, dude, I'm just a big 155 Glazer. But I think Ludovic Klein still needs work, even though he's not really a prospect. He's someone who I think should be ranked, but not really. The Gamrot performance, he just showed holes in that fight. Roosevelt Roberts showed that he's not that good. Um, and yeah, maybe I just need to get another bounce back. Ludwig Klein's my favorite prospect and one of my favorite fighters. He's like a top 10 favorite fighter for me. But I do think he needs some work. He was on a good win streak. He was schooling Rebecca, man. Put fucking hands on him too fast. In round 3, he snapped his ankle, and I think if he didn't snap his ankle, he probably could have finished Rebecca. So yeah, I just think he needs some work in the grappling. So maybe we'll put him in decent. But I don't really see Klein as like a prospect. He's just like a really good unranked contender. And I think that's what some of these guys are. Like these guys are unranked contenders. Well, like a lot of these guys are like prospects. Um, Speaking of like an actual prospect, I think Tom Nolan's decent. I'm a big fan of him. He's really good, but I think he's gonna lose. He might lose to Zigam, and his defense is very worrying. So like that's why I don't have such high hopes for him. But I would love to see him win. He's pretty good. He actually changes from decent, like pretty good to decent. Um, but yeah, I think Tom Nolan is a really good fighter. Um, I don't know, man. His defense is lowering. His striking is a really good striking tool bag. He showed that in his last. Who did he fight? His name was Charlie, and it's not Charlie Kirk. Evil someone, Charlie. I remember the last name at some point. And he showed he has a good grappling bag. He showed against Slavokov as well that he has good grappling. He has great striking. But against Dominic Reyes' brother, who I don't remember his name, he looked really bad. Like that was like a really stinky performance. He also got knocked down by Nicholas Mata, and that's always going to be in my head. As a fan of him, I put him here. Um, Chris Padilla, I have high hopes for Chris Padilla. Unlike Tom Nolan and Ludovic, he's like really good. Like he's very well rounded. Ludwig Klein is well rounded. He does have a wrestling, but I think Chris Padilla is like maybe. Oh man, has his defensive grappling been tested? If I'm wrong, Joe. He was able to some lob. The thing with Chris Padilla is he is like a really good tool bag. Unlike Tom Nolan, I think he has a good team. He's kind of crafty. He has loads of experience outside the UFC in the amateurs. And yeah, like everything he does, is like it seems like he fully preps for his fights. The Jack Herbert performance wasn't that good. Um, and neither was the um what was it? The Marco Medeiros fight. I expected more from Padilla, but he did get robbed. He has bad scar tissue now, which I don't like, but he's really good. Just some other prospects I could put in, like Esteban Ribovic is technically a prospect, and I probably put him in need to work. I'm gonna say he's my project. Gamma just done. Maybe I can put Ludwig Klein here. He does need work, but he's pretty good. Yeah, I think I like this more. Um, and yeah, I think Chris Padilla is like he's like crafty. I don't know. He seems a lot more well rounded than these guys. Like all the striking he does, it feels like more than I watch his face, he's really prepped for like who he's fighting. And yeah, moving on to the welterweight division, I think Donchenko needs some work. It's probably gonna be my longest video. I'm kind of rambling, but I didn't like how he looked against in his debut for the tough finale. He had gotten cut on the nose, but he looked so good. He looked so violent. I was like, he's gonna be something good. Alex Morono's putting jabs on him and straight shots on him, like reopen that cut, and it's made me like really think that he needs some work on the defense. He fights like Fiziev, and he has the same issue with the head movement, where like it's decent when he moves it, but then it somewhat stays still stagnant, whereas he's so open for straight shots, and that's really prevalent when you watch how Rufy was able to pick up Fiziev with the jab. Gaethje in round 3 of their first fight picked him apart, was putting hand jab on him, was putting that jab on him, and yeah, so that makes me worried for Danchenko. But he is really like his striking game is really nice. He's really violent. It felt like he got robbed of a finish against Morata, but I have high hopes for Danchenko, but I do think he needs work right now. Like all these guys aren't here because I necessarily think they're better. I just think I just have higher hopes for their trajectory. That like I wouldn't put Tommy. I wouldn't say Tommy Gann would beat these guys, but I just think he has a brighter future, even though he's kind of old. Maybe I could put off both these guys down here. Yeah, because I could see these guys like being like top 5 level. I don't know if I would see these guys yet. Maybe Tommy Gann, but yeah, I think this is how I would put him here. Islam Dulasov, he's pretty good. I'm trying not to like overlap the divisions. That's why I'm not putting Islam Dulasov or rereading these guys. Islam Dulasov, he's so inactive, man. He chinned Adam Fugit and then just hasn't done anything since. So it's like I don't have like a big take on him. I don't really have high hopes for him. He looked decent against Fugit, but he just hasn't been back. So it's like, what do I have to, you know, to scale that on? He had a decent debut as well, but or Dana White Contender Series performance, but you're a mogger, bro. That's kind of all I have. Like I don't know. He's decent, but like these guys are like pretty good. I think Dulasov is decent. I don't know where he's gonna go, you know. But moving on, I think Orobai should arguably be ranked right now. Colby Covington just retired. Just put Orobai in the rankings. Um, he has good wins. Yeah, was there someone else from? No, it was Donchenko. I think Orobai is just really good. The way he dominated Chris Curtis was insane. Who else did he fight? He chinned Jack Hermanson at 170. Such a weird fight. His win over Tafik Musayev is kind of aging well, but the loss to Rebecca isn't aging well. He was able to finish Medic, which was at 170, so that's aging super well. Who is ranked top 15? So I think you have to put Orobai there. So I think he should be ranked right now. Jacoby Smith. He hasn't shown that he needs work, but he kind of has. You know, he beat that Harold guy in his last fight, who was off short notice, who was literally just like a lamb to the slaughter. And he didn't really fully impress me against what's his name, Nico Price. He got the finish, he got the sub, but fucking gassing out. And then before that, he beat some like random wrestler dude, chinned him. So I think he needs some work. It's not like these two who they've had losses and they've shown they really need some work, or if they have like bad performances, like he had the Nathaniel Wood and Philly loss, or the Nathaniel Wood loss, and then the bad Philly performance. He had the Rob Font one, and then he had the damn, he's fighting Begsat too. I hope he beats Begsat because that'd be really sad. But yeah, maybe I'll put Jacoby Smith here, but he's kind of being bums. So I think he should be here. Adam Fugit's a bum too, but there's nothing else like for me to tell with Islam Dulatov. Moving on to middleweight, Susarkayev needs a lot of work. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of these guys are gonna need work. When I talk about middleweight, he needs a lot of work. The goofing around in the cage, the taking rounds off, it's just a bad look because of the competition he's fighting. If he was fighting like high comp and he was just like goofing around, and that's why he was having bad performances, then I get it. But dude, he's fighting fucking DeJordan Santos. He's making him like win a round off you. He's like 0-2 on rounds to fucking Eric McConaughey. Just not a good look. Yeah. Like I think I'd put him here. Like skill wise he is here, but he definitely needs some work. Maybe I should move these two down. Because it doesn't feel right that they're here with him. I'll put Gene Matsumoto down here. But I rate him a little bit higher than Homemaker. Speaking of being fraud-checked, Torres Finney is fucking awful, man. The dude's I don't even know if he deserves to be been fraud-checked. I think he's just fucking I think he's just shit. I'm gonna add it below. A new ranking live. Just awful. This is where I think Torres Finney should be. He looked like utter shit again. He was injured against Smokoon, but that was an awful performance, man. Really, really bad performance. Before that, he looked really good. He looked really shit against Robertson. That's his name, right? The dude off tough. Arguably lost it off damage. It was bad luck from Torres Finney. But he did beat somebody on Lean White's contender series, who I actually have pretty high hopes for. I think Cam Ralston's really good. He was getting clipped by Brundage, but the way he just dominated, the way he was able to finish Brundage, not everybody finishes Brundage. He chinned Petrosky. He was able to finish Brundage in round 2, dominated Rychek for over 3 rounds. That performance by Ralston to show that he has a deep grappling bag and that he's improved impresses me. I think he deserves to be in high hopes. I think he's gonna be good, especially at middleweight. Tall, lanky, has power, has good striking, and can grapple. I'm high on him. Someone else who needs work though, Taboo Coulter. You can't cut off the fence for fucking shit. You should not be taking Ozzy Diaz around 2. Like he didn't look awful in that fight, but the Pulaya fight really showed the openings for him. You can't cut off the cage. When he starts to throw, he's very linear. Like he has very tunnel vision when he throws, and it's just not good looks. I'm gonna put him here, and yeah, I think that's moving on to light heavyweight. I don't have high hopes for Navajo, but I think he's decent. I think he's pretty good. Does he need some work? Yes, but I think he's pretty good. I think he's pretty decent. I like Navajo Strange's game, especially if he might lose to Kudalaba. Kudalaba might just sub him, but I think he's really good. I think he's not really good. For light heavyweight, he's pretty good. He hasn't been able to find the finishes, but he found it in his last fight. Obviously against one of the cheatiest dudes, Bruno Silva. Or was it Bruno Silva? No, it's Bruno Lopez. And he got robbed of error, like it should have been earlier. And he's almost finished the Arslan performance isn't looking too bad. But it depends. If he looks good against Kudalaba, I'm going to mention right now. I have to mention him twice. Like if he puts a really good performance, like he clearly beats Kudalaba, where he's like someone finds a finisher with Kudalaba, I'll be impressed. But someone who couldn't convincingly beat Kudalaba, Modestas Bakauskas, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Having some of the shittiest performances lately. Split decision with fucking Kudalaba, and that fight was like just smudging back and forth. And then he's rocking some random Bellator dude. And then he's just fucking smudging him against the fence. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? He needs work. He needs a lot of work. The Krylov loss is bad. I don't think he's been fraud checked because he's not really a fraud. He's just kind of mid. And he didn't have a lot of hype anyway. Maybe you could say him going into the Krylov one was bad, but yeah. But talking about a real fraud check, Umar Sai, he doesn't even deserve to be here. He is just awful fighting. Kudalaba subbed him easily with the weakest gilly. Maybe it was tight. He did have it, but no fight from fucking Umar's side. And then he lost a shit decision to Alonzo Manyfield. That was really bad. That was really awful. That's why he's in the just awful tier. That was really awful look to just do nothing. He didn't do anything against Midfield. He didn't do anything against Kudalaba. Both these guys should be cut. These guys they just need some work. But like they've been fraud checked. These guys just need work in their game due to bad performances. Maybe I shouldn't even put it. I don't know, because it feels like when I look at these guys, it's like okay, they need work due to bad performances and or like a loss. They've had a couple of losses now. I'll put him in here. But I don't know, he just doesn't feel like he's been fraud checked. It just feels like he definitely needs some work in his game. Yakiayev is really good at the light heavyweight, but I don't know how high I have his hopes. I'll put him here. Yeah. For light heavyweight, Yakiayev is really good. Mr. Beast himself. He's really, really, really good. The way he looked, I don't like that he was getting hurt by Ribeiro, so that's why I wanted to put him pretty good and decent. But I have to remember he's not light heavyweight, and I think he'll chin a lot more guys. He's shown good grappling. He can take the back well when he hurts people. He's not like someone who's gonna gas himself out looking for a TKO. And if he would have gotten chinned or like really badly, continuously wobbled by Ribeiro, then maybe I would have been thinking of that was the worst performance. But Yakiayev did look good after he got rocked. He was able to find the takedown, found the sub. The performance over Cachoeira was really good, and I remember he had a pretty nice finish in the contenders. So I think I have high hopes for him in the heavyweight. He just needs to fix some things up, but I have some pretty high hopes for him. Now we talk about heavyweight. I'm gonna move these guys up because this tier wasn't even supposed to be one. Oh man, maybe I should have kept it. I think Steven Aspin's pretty good. Does he need work? Yes, but he has a lot of skills, but I think he deserves being pretty good tier. The Petrino fight was really good. He made it pretty competitive. I thought it was clear for Petrino, but Steven Aspin looked good in that fight, and I think he fucks up a lot of run guys. He has cardio, he has output. When he really puts that on people, he could break a heavyweight. But speaking of someone who needs work, Mario Pinto, bro. Mario Pinto. His last performance up against, what was it, Francisco Prado or something? It wasn't Francisco Prado, but it was a Brazilian dude with with an F name. That was as bad as Modesta's performance, man. That was pretty bad. Pretty bad. I did not like that performance at all. And he'd also been dropped by Austin Lane before. So I think he needs some work. And you see, that's why I think this year works. He needs a lot of work. He had been dropped by Austin Lane. He looked so good against. How shit is fucking Denise, bro? Denise is all for fighting then. Because Pinto fucking dominated him. Made him look like shit. We're adding this tier again. For one man. And that's fucking Louis. Oh my days. That's bedtime MMA. Shut up, bedtime MMA. Louis Sutherland deserves his own tier. That's awful. I don't know. There was a lot of heavyweight on the top of my mind when making this video, and I wanted to get at least 3 per division. I could have used some ranked guys, but I wanted to give some praise to some of the unranked dudes. Maybe now looking over it, let me see, who could I move down? I don't know, Yakiayev being up there. His performance is kind of Have me worried. Maybe Sopaj would move down. I think I'll move Sopaj down. I do have high hopes for Sopaj, but I think he's decent. Montes kind of just has the aura because he looks like Ilya Taporia is coming off the round 1 sub, or the round 2 sub. And yeah, this is hard to rank these unranked prospects. Obviously, there's a fuck ton of lightweight prospects. There's probably way more unranked 145ers that just came in as well that I probably could have added in here instead. Probably a fuck ton of welterweights as well that are coming up. Lots of dudes that I could have added in this tier list. But these are guys I just wanted to talk about, especially 155. That's a weird division. I couldn't think of anyone who had made their debut already and had really impressed me. Tom McGann was fresh in my mind. Chris Padilla, Tom Nolan has a fight coming up. I've been seeing some stuff about Ludwig Klein. Some guys who I would have added, not looking back. Ethan Ewing would have been in high hopes. Anyone else? I didn't even talk about Louis Sutherland. He did dominate Tuivasa, but man, he did better than Talisman Teixeira. Just how bad is heavyweight, man? Is there really any other unranked heavyweight that's like a prospect? I could put Denise in here, maybe. I don't know. Is there? Oh, maybe like Kennedy and Nizuchuku. Ryan Spann. I could put Ryan Spann in here. He's coming off, I think, 2 wins. So, this is my video. Why am I blue? I just realized my camera. What is going on here? Well, I guess I'm blue for this entire video. Don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what prospects would you guys have added, unranked guys you would have added. Trying out a new format for the tier list. This is so much better than all the ads. I don't know why I wasn't doing this before. Like and subscribe, and check out my Twitter, jazzlovesmma. I haven't put in bio in the last 2 videos, but in the bio, use promo code JAZZ07 for Dime Fitness if you want some fitness clothes, fitness gear, whatever you need, any accessories. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.